Thanks for joining us at the Resilience Shield today. Today I have Toby Bird with me. He's the owner of two building companies, Minchin and Sims and Lighthouse. Not only is Toby a builder, he is on the board of West Builders Co-operative. He was the builder responsible for the rebuild of the beloved Ivan Ivanoff Paganin house in Floreat. He's a father of 3 young girls and a beautiful husband to Dee. Thanks for being here, Toby.
Pleasure, thank you.
Now, it's been well publicised that the building industry is booming. It's also been really well publicised that there's been a lot of supply issues and a issue with skilled labour coming into Western Australia. How has managing a booming business with supply and demand issues affected your personal resilience?
Yeah, I mean, it has been a tough few years. I think we're hopefully coming through it now. We're seeing some supply chain bottlenecks ease, and hopefully we can get some more labour into the market to help ease the burden. Plus, there's a lot of work around as well, so the demand is very high. But it's been tough. But the industry's always been a tough industry, and yeah, you just got to fit in and focus and get things done.
The Resilience Shield, our research-backed method, works on layers. So the innate, mind, body, social and professional layers. Obviously your professional layer's been having a squeeze for quite a few years. How's your social layer been going with all of this? Has it affected your family time or your time with friends?
Yeah, I mean, I've been spending a lot more time at work. It's a lot more difficult to procure, as we talked about, labour and materials. So I'm working extra hard to try and make that all fit in with my personal life. Obviously, I've still got to be a responsible father to my daughters and a good husband. So it has been a balancing act, but we've managed to come through it.
And needing to lean on your existing skilled workforce a bit more than you normally would have in a booming time like this, have you had to support their social layers or support their resilience? How's that worked out for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've always had a really good relationship with our trades, more of a balanced relationship rather than, they just work for me and they do what they're told. They're fairly autonomous, they've got good skills. And I think that we really complement each other and help each other out and through these tough times.
Oh, that's good. Now the body layer. Toby's an interesting one for you. Being from Western Australia, you're an avid snowboarder and there is no snow in sight in Western Australia and the borders have been shut. How are you managing your body layer, having had that beautiful skill taken away from you? Yeah,
it's been tough. I think that I've really focused on other sports that I love. I do a bit of surfing, a bit of paddle boarding. I go to the gym a lot, which really helps me focus, mentally. So physically, I feel pretty good. Mentally also good. But I think I've just had to do other things, and rather than go overseas and go snowboarding, we've got to see beautiful Western Australia a bit more. So that's been really healthy.
Oh, that's great. And then talking about your mind layer, in the Resilience Shield, we actually say that's one of the most important layers to invest your time in. When you have a healthy mind, the other layers, it trickles down. Your wife, Dee, she's a yoga teacher.
Yep.
How does that go for you? Do you do yoga with Dee?
Yeah, well, I love yoga and I know it's good for the older body, but my focus is I've always had focus issues because I think about way too many things at once. So if I'm sitting in a yoga studio, trying to focus on that mindfulness of just being in the moment, I do really struggle with it. I need to be more active and team sports and being outside is better for my mindset. But I'd love to, when things settle down and I've got some more time, I'd love to do more yoga because I know it's really good for you.
Yeah, I bet Dee's asking you to do yoga all the time.
All the time.
Okay, and then gratitude is a really important part of the mind layer. What research has shown lately, or the latest research on gratitude, is that pro-social gratitude is most important than an inward gratitude practice. Do you have a gratitude practice, and how does gratitude manifest for you in your work and personal life?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a really good point, and we know that gratitude can really help productivity, and I try to really work as a team, so try and really encourage all our guys. We foster a culture within the business. It's not just like you guys work for me and you do do what I tell you. I'm always listening to what my staff and my trades have got to say, and I can really see that, the productivity that comes from that, and the respect.
Oh, that's great. So currently in Western Australia, it is Mental Health Awareness Month in construction industry, which is really interestingly, next month is Are You OK Day in September. When preparing for this interview, I found quite a staggering number that 53% of men in construction are more susceptible to suicide than any other worker or role in Australia. Do you have any insight on that or thoughts about that? It was quite a staggering number. I was quite shocked.
Yeah, that's a huge number, and I think the building industry has always been quite high pressure, and whether you work in residential building, commercial or mining. I think with the last 20 years of mining boom, there's been a lot of men who have been taken away from their families. They've been working in high pressure situations. They're doing shift work, which is not good for mental health. Luckily some of these large companies have got policy and people that can help people with mental health issues, but I do focus and I do ask my trades and my staff how they're feeling, and I think it's really important that we look after people's mental health.
Talking about larger corporations, they do have a lot more support behind them. As a smaller company, what support is out there for you to support your workers? And if there isn't any, what would you like to see?
Yeah, well, there's very little. I have been instrumental in encouraging any of the guys that work for me, if they aren't feeling well, that they need to, I'm always happy to talk to them, but I think that they need to, seek help elsewhere. There are some, subsidised government programs that will help people, to see psychologists and psychiatrists when they aren't feeling well. There's nothing that is building specific. I think it'd be nice to see that, given the staggering numbers.
Yeah.
At 53%, that is huge.
And so, having been in the building and construction industry your entire career, have you noticed a shift in the attitudes and change towards mental health?
Yeah, I think it's more, socially acceptable now that, that men could talk about their mental health problems. I think back in the day, men were men and they didn't discuss things. They just, had not dissimilar problems to what women had, but women were probably more open to talk about it. Men had to go to work, be resilient, be tough, and just deal with it. So I think definitely with the new generation coming through, that it's educated that it's okay to talk about it. If you're not happy or you're not feeling well, you need to talk to people about it.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important that that continues. And I think that we all have a responsibility to look after each other, community.
So at the Resilience Shield, we believe that not all stress is equal, and some stress isn't bad, and some stress is better than others. So we look at the Yerkes-Dodson method of stress, which is the bell curve. You've obviously had a high amount of stress. What's your view on managing stress, and has it tipped right over to the edge, or have you been able to keep it in healthy stress where it drives productivity?
Yeah, I've always been under pressure, for my working life, and you've got to be able to handle that stress, and everyone has different methods of dealing with it. I'm pretty focused on the positive, and that's what really gets me through. If you are constantly just thinking about the negative, then you will not get through it. So I've always thought there's always a solution for any problem, and yes, I can fix anything, and that is what's really got me through mentally.
It's a great outlook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine that's really helpful. And how's that going with your kids? Are you being able to teach that to them? Do you notice that in them now that they're young teenagers? They would have a lot more stress in their lives. Yeah,
I'm really trying to teach it, and we do use the word resilience a lot in our household. And that starts from just, being organised, how you're going to perform at school, what you've got to do socially, learning how to drive a car. All these things are part of life. And it's really important to grab the bull by the horns and just do it. And if you fail, you know what? It's better to try something and fail than to do nothing and succeed. And that's always been my philosophy. So yeah.
Oh, that's a great outlook. No wonder your girls are as gorgeous as they are.
Yeah, thank you.
Toby, thanks for your time today. Wrapping up on a high note, over these last few years, have there been any unexpected positives to come out of all of this for you, either for you personally, work, or at home with your family?
Yeah, there has been, and I think it has been good for, you know, resilience, not only for myself but also for my family and everyone that work with. I mean, we've been through a tough time, but we've done it as a nation, you know, and I think that you know, it's put us in good stead to tackle the next problems that come up. So yeah, there has been some positives. You know, you can always take a positive out of any negative. So, you know, that's my mindset.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's it for today, the Resilience Shield. Thanks so much.
Pleasure.
If you want to do any more learning on resilience, please go to our website, www.resilienceShield.com, where you can take our free online survey and assess your resilience. We have our book and our journal there, along with our brand new online program. You can go and do a self-paced learning of resilience through dynamic videos and tools, and it also includes our resilience action plan, and look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.